G'day and welcome to the GameFace Footy Show here at GameFace HQ live in Studio 1. We are talking everything SFNL Division 2. Big show for you today. We are joined by a superstar from the Dublin Eagles. His name is Nick Battle, special guest on the panel. Bina Bell, the Bombers, milestone men, 3-time 150 gamers last week, or is that this week? Will tell us in a minute. Districts outlast the Hammers. We're going to move straight over and introduce the panel. I'll start with Will on this end. How are you, mate?
Mate, living the dream. How about yourself?
You're living the dream as well, mate. I've got Tomo there because I've got Tomo there. I'm living the dream. How are you, Tomo?
Good.
Welcome back, mate. You're down in Tassie.
Yeah, a bit of business down in Tassie.
I didn't claim you, mate.
Your hometown.
Yeah, we usually don't let anyone go once you go down here. And I spoke off the top about our man, Nick Battle. My man, Nick Battle. I can say that because I play alongside this guy. He's been an absolute superstar for the Dublin Eagles over the last couple of years. You boys would agree with that. How are you, Nick?
Good, Robbo. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you, mate. How's the body feeling? You're playing well at the moment, mate?
Oh, not too bad, not too bad. You had the week off this week, so it was good to rest up, and a few of the boys needed it, needless to say.
What did you get up to over the weekend, mate? Obviously no footy.
So I tried to do a bit off the legs, had a bit of a swim, had a bit of a bike, just tried to take it easy. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, things happening quite nicely down there at Dufton at the moment. Obviously, there were a couple of injuries that we need to talk about. The couple of new fellas that come into the team, but our captain obviously is a massive loss. We've talked about it a couple of times, Tom, on the panel here. But how big a loss is that, and the other couple of injuries we've got?
Yeah, well, this year we haven't actually had a fully fit 100% side out on the park, so it's a bit unfortunate. And MC, obviously the skipper of our side and one of the best mids in the comp, so it'd be great to have him back in about 2-3 weeks. So yeah, it'd be good when we get a full side out on the park.
Same with Springvale too, though. The district's had a couple of injuries, Tomo. How are you faring down there with those guys? Because when we played you last, both teams probably looked top 5 players not out in the ground.
Yeah, we had a couple, and we lost a couple from that game, which are slowly coming back. We had 3 return this week. David the Donk Monaghan, your boy, he's back on the park with Nathan Brown and Brodie Leto all come back last week. So yeah. They're slowly starting to filter in, and I believe Danny Wilson, our Premiership ruckman, may be on limited time this week, if not, it'll be the week after. So they're slowly starting to come back.
You played Doveton. It was a great game, Good Friday down there at Springy Districts Oval. It was fantastic weather. The crowd turned out, and it was a great game of footy too, wasn't it, Will?
It was an absolute ripper.
And so you played against this mob before, the Dovey Eagles, and you had to play against this fella. How much attention did you put into it? Because he could tell me a lot of attention.
No, we put a little bit of attention. No, you don't want to put too much, but yeah, obviously one of the better players, if not the best player in the comp, so we'd be mad if we didn't put our attention into him.
Are you used to a tag?
Well, last year being my first year in the league, not so much, but the second time we played players last year, they soon come around again, and then this year, obviously, a few people have done their homework, so I haven't been playing good footy at all, Tomo, the last couple of weeks, so don't worry about me. Our other mids have been way better.
No
Now, I will say this about the young man over here. He's well prepared, Will. Make sure he brings his food to training, so he's got the right stuff there. He's always on the waters and doing the right thing by his body. Talk about that for me, Ned, please, because you see the AFL boys obviously doing the right thing. It's filtered through to the VFL over the last 10, 15 years, and now suburban level. I see a lot of guys doing the right thing by their bodies, and you're one of those guys.
Yeah, well, it comes back to just preparation and just trying to get the best out of yourself. So eating the right things and then making sure your preparation's right so you can get the best out of yourself, and then sort of filters down to the other players in the club, and they sort of take a leaf out of your book, and then you get less soft tissue injuries, so it's good.
Do you get some tips from your brother? Obviously Josh Battle, who's playing some bloody good footy at the moment for the Saints.
Yeah, he's going all right, the young fella. We don't talk about too much footy at home. We try to keep it a bit different, so we get other life aspects in there, but no, we sort of rebound off each other. So yeah, no, he's going well, the young fella. He's only 20 years old, so he's still a young pup.
He is a young man, and he's on the leadership group this year. So obviously the club's seeing how important he is, not just out on the ground, but also behind the scenes. He's doing some nice things. So a very, very good football family. Talk about your influences. The old man obviously had a lot to do with you with your football career early days. What got you into your football, and what got you playing so well?
Well, I actually played soccer until under 13s, and then I played junior footy for only like the back half of it. And the thing that got me down to Dufton Eagles was my dad actually used to play for Dufton Eagles, and he actually played, I think, a handful of games for Hawthorn before that. So we're all Mad Hawks, and then Josh moved to the Saints, so we all jumped ship, and now we're on the Saints bandwagon.
How hard is that? I mean, you're wearing a Saints, wearing a Hawthorn scarf all your life, and they've been so successful. Hard to get off them.
We were there for the glory days. We're there for the flags.
Yeah, that's right. Now it's time for the Saints to do the same.
Yeah, that's it. They need to get one.
They had a nice win over the Hawks the other week as well.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So yeah.
And so, what's next for the Doveton Eagles before we move on to the next part of the show, which is to move into the other games and the results? What's next for Dovey? Because you've got to get these guys back training. You've got obviously a great coach down there in Bull. Just talk to me about things happening behind the scenes. It's a great club. They've really come a long way in the last 5 years, haven't they?
Yeah, well, there's a few new inclusions this year, which is really exciting. There's a couple of players that are really, really good. And as soon as we get them back in a fully 100% fit side, we'll be a real force to be reckoned with. So sooner that happens, the better.
Ned, have you got, obviously we spent some time together at Frankston. Do you have any aspirations to go back to a higher level?
Well, I was thinking that this year, but I went overseas last year for 4 months, so I got back and didn't want to sort of jump into it in January because it's a bit like it's not the best of things. Might put a sour taste in their mouth if you roll in January and some young kids done the pre-season since before Christmas. So maybe next year, I'm not sure. I'll see how this year goes and then see where we go as well. Obviously last year fell a bit short, so
yeah, you see you got guys that come back and have a second crack at it. Like, did you play with Sam Fox at Frankston?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah,
he's come back at probably a similar age to you at Sandy, and he's having a real influence. I know there's some AFL recruiters looking at him now, so might be something to maybe have a look at now.
Yeah, when I was there, I was only 18, 19, so I wasn't ready, and now I'm 23, so I reckon I'd give it a better shot.
Yeah, I agree.
At this stage.
How old are you now?
23.
Still got plenty of time on your side, mate.
Absolutely. You see a lot of guys coming from VFL level even further down into the AFL at the age of 25, 26, which is pleasing to see. It's very interesting, this dynamic, Will, because these two playing against each other on this weekend, and possibly me too. So there might be a little bit of a cat fight on the show in a little bit. No, not
should
at
have
all.
brought the popcorn, I reckon.
Yeah, a lot of love. Some other games. Well done there. We'll talk to you in a little bit as we're going to dissect that game later in the show. Other games, Springvale Districts versus Hampton. 8-15-63. They defeat Hampton 7-3-45, the Springvale boys. 1 point in it in the final change, Will. It was an exciting game.
It was, but obviously the Districts lifted a gear in the final term. Kicked Turgale 6 to just 1 behind, so probably could have straightened it up a little bit and won by more, but a fantastic last quarter from the Districts. How did you see it, Tomo?
Yeah, we had our chances to put them away, probably more so in the first half. Some pretty frustrating, probably easy misses at goal, but to their credit, we kept them in it and they really got their backs up in the third quarter, and they might have kicked 4 in a row. So they were a good side when they're up and running, but we were able to hold them off in the end.
They're not a bad side, are they, Hampton? They had they came on record and said that they're aiming for top 3. They reckon they've got what it takes to get there. We've seen what damage Springvale Districts can do in this competition, and for them to push you all the way, it's a pretty good performance from them.
We pumped it up internally as a sort of mid-season final. That puts us 3 games clear of them. If they'd have beaten us, they would have been within a game, and we go and play Doveton next week. So it was a massive win for us.
And obviously Robbo spoke off the top about 3 blokes played their 150th game over the weekend, and one of them was your brother.
Yeah, it was, 150 games. He's only 26, so maybe he can get to 300.
We'll see. So to you, Matty, well done, mate.
Good on you. Now we're going to throw to some footage of Popper Fan's goal of the day. Have a look at this. Popper Fan, if you don't mind, Tomo. How good was that?
Very, very happy with himself too. Apparently his old man Mark cut up the vision. They sent it into GameFace and they've been watching it on their big screen TV at home all week.
Loving it.
I'll tell you what I do love, the Peter Heng celebration too, just the hands on the heads. He couldn't believe it went through. Yeah.
Speaking of celebrations, one of my all-time favourites was Popper in the grand final last year when he kicked that goal. And he runs towards the crowd and gives the demon horns.
Did you ever do that, Robbo?
Never did that. Guy Rigoni did that once, I think, but his nickname was the Bull, so that's the reason why I did that. No, but there were plenty of questionable celebrations that we could go into, but I'm not going to give you the time because I'm going to move into the other results. Chelsea Heights 6-10-46, defeated by East Brighton 12-9-81. East Brighton 7-4-46 to 0-9-9 at half time. Big Jamesy, best on ground with 4 goals, Will.
Yeah, well, they obviously got it set up early in the piece, and Sean James booting 4 snags. He's been in reasonable form, has James. So, very important win for East Brighton. Chelsea Heights, they're in a bit of trouble, I think, unfortunately.
It's funny the psyche of a team once you kick a point or you kick probably. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't know if they were rush points, but 0-9 is extraordinary to half time, and then to come back and kick another 12. So it's extraordinary the psyche of a player when you have a shot and you miss an easy one. How you can probably miss the next one. It's a hard one, isn't it, Ned? You've been out there. You get the yips, don't you? Well, my man, maybe not you, but I certainly have.
Yeah, some players do.
Absolutely. So let's move on to the next game. Caulfield 13-14, 92. Defeat Heatherton 8-5, 53. Caulfield getting it done, Will.
Yeah, important win for the Bears. That's their second in a row now. So they've got 2 wins on the board. They really should have put this one away, put it to bed early. I think they kicked 4 goals, 10 in the first quarter, Tomo, and really sort of left the door open for Everton. But they never went through.
All right, we'll move on to the last game there. Murrumbina, obviously a very big score. We're not going to hear on the show bashing Sky at all because we know where they're at the moment, but Murrumbina would be very happy with that scoreline.
Yeah, absolutely. And they had 2 blokes playing their 150 games, including Corey Hargrave and Jake Semmel, who are both absolute stars for that side. So a pretty good celebration for those 2 boys. And Luke Jones returned from suspension. Booted 4 goals, so handy return. He's an important player, boys.
Yeah, that should get them going, I think. Having James back, so they've really missed him up forward. So they're back up and running. Sometimes you need a win like that.
Yep.
I know we had one last year. We won by 200 points, something, but it really got the season going. We just got that confidence. So maybe that's the win they needed.
And Ned's already told us that W obviously had the bye weekend off. We're playing Keysborough in the Queen's birthday match. Looking forward to that one, wouldn't you, Ned? Because they are a good team.
Yeah, they are a very good team. Going off last year, played them twice and had a good couple of battles with them there. So Queen's birthday, is that a standalone game?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. So get down and watch that one. I think it's a Keysborough, so if you're in the Keysborough area, get down. Great ground down there, by the way.
Oh,
it's a
gorgeous.
fantastic surface. So get down and watch a great game of football.
Good
And they've got a good
size
canteen, don't they, Will? You know all about that.
They do, yeah. It's one of my favourite parts of
Ryan Hendy will beat him on that one, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's a real canteen warrior.
Good on the fang. Let's move to the ladder after round 5. You can see the W Eagles doing it nicely on top there with 5 wins. Springy Districts, Keysborough, Murrumbina. Probably the teams, Hampton would like to throw themselves in that mix, but the top 5 there, doing it nicely, Will.
Yeah, I think so. And interesting, the Keysy undefeated, 4 wins from only 4 games, and very, very healthy percentage. It's the best in the comp, 241, if you don't mind. So they're flying. So the Queen's birthday will obviously be a belter of a game there. But
how long till you got Keysy?
We played them the last game in the first round. You play them, so about 4 weeks, I think.
4 weeks away. We look forward to that game as well. Let's move to the Division 2 Team of the Week. Will and Tomo have been poring over the best player sheets and getting their feedback from all the coaches round the grounds. Go for your life, boys.
Indeed, and as much as we'd love to have our esteemed guest in the team this week,
what happened there, boys? Just put him in. He's on the panel. We want to get him back.
Oh, there'd be some questions asked if he makes the Team of the Week without even playing. So we just want to make sure that this is a legitimately picked side. So
he didn't play bad because he didn't play.
Oh, that's not saying I had 0 clangers because I had 0 kicks.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, go for it.
From the backs, Cameron Gates from Chelsea Ottie's first appearance as small, medium type defender. O'Shea, the key defender at Caulfield, and O'Halloran from Heatherton. He's been there, probably shining light so far this year.
He has been, and O'Shea, an absolute star at Caulfield, coaching their reserves too, which is great. Good young fella. Matty Suter from Springy Districts on the halfback flank, and the Hampton pair, Guy Timms and Callum White. They had good games on the weekend, did they?
Yeah, Timms, he probably could have been picked anyway. He played a bit on the wing, played in the ruck, and he played a bit down back. So we slotted him in probably this week at centre back. Yeah. And Callum White's he's a rebounding type defender. He's a really good player actually. The centre line, Wade King, a get back in again on the wing. Stuart Patterson had a really good game at Caulfield on top.
Yeah, he did. He's been in pretty good form the last few weeks, Patterson. So new recruit this year, and really doing some good things down there.
Yep. And Tommy Wilkinson will love this, but Matt Thompson in on the wing. They get stuck in him. They reckon I favour him a little bit down there. So I'll probably harder on him than anyone knows. I'll be honest.
Well, I might put my hand up and say I picked him. Yeah. So you can. No, I'll take the heat for that one. And the half forward line, Jake Buggy, Jesus, he's an absolute star for the Bears and been in some really good form. Matt Wiedering,
Big Scooty.
he's a very handy pickup for you blokes, isn't he? And Eddie Espinoza sneaks in on the other half forward flank. Kicked a few goals on the weekend, did Eddie, and geez, he's a tough player to stop on his day.
Yep. And can also just throw a shout out to Scooty for his 20th birthday. I reckon he got 3 votes on Saturday, and Saturday night he also took the 3 as well. So
Good work.
Happy birthday, Scooty. Forwards are Sean James, East Brighton. Luke James. Any relation there at all? Don't think so.
Not sure.
No. And old Jamo back in there again from East Brighton.
Yeah, the young fella. Lockie Dixon from Caulfield in the ruck. It's bit strange not seeing Bryce Sutton in there, but again,
Let
didn't
him play.
so that's why. He's obviously taken the role of Adam Ballard, who's out injured, and he's been doing pretty well. Normally plays centre half forward, does Dicko, but really standing up in the ruck. Tom Wilkinson, your man, on the ball, and Jamie Hackett as well from Boona had another outstanding performance.
Yeah, really good player, Jamie Hackett. I rate him really highly. He'd be their best recruit this year, without doubt. Frinton Brazel, one of the Basil brothers. James Bateman from Skye, Charlie Patterson from Hampton, and Brad Westcombe from East Brighton.
Good stuff. Well done, boys. Papa Fiend, you don't get in with just one special game, mate. One special goal. You've got to put a game together, unfortunately, because I've been in that position many, many times.
There's 4 quarters in the game, Robbo.
There's 4 quarters, not just one special effort. The round 5 fixture brought to you by Melsafe. Let's talk through each game. Get your tips, boys. W Eagles versus Springvale Districts. You'd think that this would be the game of the week. If not, who wins it and why?
Absolutely. This is going to be tough to pick. I reckon Spring and Districts at home I'll go for, but Dufton Eagles at home, I should say, at home. But if the last game's any indication, then it'll be a very hard-fought contest.
Don't need to comment on the tip for both you boys, but I will get a tip off you. You don't even have to say why. Just you don't have to do anything really, but talk about the game.
We obviously pushed within 10 points. We reviewed that game really strongly, and we'll have a little bit of a different plan. So we've definitely taken a few things away from the first time we played. Just so we'll go in slightly different in certain areas and see how we go.
Who are you putting on Ned?
No, we're going to let him just run free this week. He asked me, he slipped me 50 as well.
Smart, Ned, smart.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Go, Ned, what do you reckon, mate?
Well, that midfield brigade's been working very well, even though MC, one of the best mids, has been out.
A couple of blokes stepped up, haven't they?
Nick Beers stepped up. He's had a massive start to the year, and then we've got a few inclusions, so it'll be a different side to what you saw last time. But, it'll be interesting to see how we go.
How far's MC away from a return?
About 2-3 weeks.
Can't wait to see the result of that game.
You playing, mate, or what?
I might put my hand up for this one. I enjoyed the last hit out against Springy. They were fantastic.
How many did you get there, Robbo?
I kicked 7, should have kicked 8.
Robbo, the moustache man reckons that Ryan Douglas is his name.
Yep.
He reckons ever since that day you've started growing that.
I have. It's in honour of him.
And he reckons he'll be there and he's going to follow you end to end too. This year.
Don't worry, I've got my Doveton peeps going to that game, mate. We're besties now anyway. We're moustache mates. East Brighton versus Keyborough should be a good game as well.
I think Keysborough might get the job done convincingly here. East Brighton, they've won a couple of games now, and they had a pretty good performance on the weekend, but I don't think they've got what it takes to match with Keysy, who I think will be right up there when the whips are cracking.
Right.
Yeah, Keysy. He's comfortably.
Ned?
Yeah, Keysborough for me, 4-0.
Good on you, boys. Chelsea Heights versus Caulfield.
Ooh, interesting one. Both sides will probably be a little bit disappointed with the way that they've started the year. They're never really blowouts between these two sides. Are normally a hard-fought contest, but I'll stick with the Bears in this one.
Chelsea Heights have let me down. I've picked them as the smoky, and I still think that they're a good side. So Chelsea look after me this week. I reckon they'll win. I reckon they'll win by 2 goals.
Last chance to learn for Chelsea Heights, in your opinion?
This is their last chance.
You'll lose Tomo.
Yeah.
Chelsea
Or else
Heights.
you've lost me.
Come on, Ned.
If they bring the same intent they did with the first half against the Eagles, then I reckon they might get the chocolates, but I just think Caulfield will be too strong.
Nice. Hampton will be hosting the Beena. Beena just rolling on nicely at the moment, aren't they, Will?
They are. They're making every post a winner. On a bit of a roll now, and Hampton, they tend to be a little bit tough to play on that small ground down at Peterson Street. Murrabina, I think, will be too good. But, Hampton will make a contest to this one.
Oh, yeah, this is huge. If Murrabina can beat Hampton, it makes it really, really hard for Hampton and leaves the door open for them to slip out of the 5. I reckon Hampton could get up. I reckon either way, it's really hard to pick. I'm going to pick Hampton at home, just under a goal.
For mine, just quickly, the last time we Murrumbeena played down at Hampton. We called that for Southern FM, and it was the Luke James show. He absolutely ripped Hampton a fresh one. Kicked a big bag, and he could be the difference on the day.
Maybe I'll change that tomorrow.
Bust on that. Ned, your pick, mate.
Hampton at home, I think I'm going to go a bit of an upset there.
Yeah. Nice, I like it. And this could be Sky's game. It could be. You never know. They could get themselves up, although I don't think so. They are hosting Heatherton Will.
Flip a coin. I mean, Sky, traditionally the hangar down there, tough place to play footy at. Heatherton have to bring their A game to knock them off. And you know what? I'm going to tip Sky this one. They'll win the first game of the year.
I think Sky too, to be honest. Yeah, they are generally hard to beat out there. They played really defensively against us. So maybe if they can do that again, they can limit the scoring of Heatherton. They could kick a few themselves. I reckon they'll get up just.
Be good to see him win 1-2.
I'm going to go Sky at home as well. Get the first one on the board.
Good on you, boys. Well done. That has been the Division 2 footy show for GameFace. We've really enjoyed having you on the air, Ned. We've been talking about you a lot this year because you've been in such great form.
Might need a full-time fixture. What do you reckon?
Oh, absolutely. He's performed quite well.
First time he hasn't been in the Team of the Week.
That's right. Yeah. Can we get a contract in here on the table? It's been fantastic. Best of luck for the rest of the season for you, Ned. Good on you, mate. Good on you. Tom, best of luck with you this week, although not too good.
See you Saturday.
Yeah, see you Saturday. And Will, as always,
looking forward to a good game between you guys. It'll be interesting.
Good on you, mate. Thanks very much for joining us on the GameFace Footy Show for Division 2. We will see you next week. Bye.